We're all kind of taught that being a good person is about following a list of rules, right? Don't steal, don't lie, don't hurt people. Simple enough. But what if that's just scratching the surface? Today, we're going to dig into a much deeper, more challenging idea. That what really matters isn't just what we do, but what's going on inside. Our thoughts, our intentions, the state of our own hearts. So yeah, let's get right into it.
So just think about it for a second. In your own life, you probably follow the big rules. I mean, you're not out there stealing or physically hurting anyone, right? But the idea we're exploring today is that maybe that's just the absolute bare minimum. What if the real test of who we are isn't about the big, obvious rules we manage not to break, but about all those subtle, invisible battles we're fighting on the inside every single day?
Okay, so to really get a handle on this shift in thinking, we've got to take a step back in time. For, centuries, being a good person was pretty much defined by these really clear external rule books. Just think about ancient laws. They gave everyone a pretty straightforward list of do this, don't do that, to keep society running.
Right, so these rules, things like the Ten Commandments, they're obviously super important. They're foundational, they create a baseline so we can all live together. But here's the key thing to notice. They're almost entirely focused on our actions, what we do on the outside. And the argument we're looking at is that, well, that's really only half the story.
And this is where things get really interesting. The whole focus just completely flips, from the outside to the inside. It's a huge shift. Suddenly, it's not enough to just not kill someone. The new challenge is to deal with the anger in your heart that could lead to it in the first place. That is a massive evolution in thinking, moving from just your actions to your actual intentions.
Now, let's be super clear here. This isn't about just tossing out the old rules. Not at all. It's more about fulfilling them, taking them to the next level. It's about taking those external don'ts and applying them to the world inside of us. So what's the takeaway? The standard just got a whole lot higher and way, way more personal.
Okay, so that brings us to the real core of this whole thing. What some people call sins of the heart, or these invisible ways we break the rules. We're talking about the subtle, modern ways we can violate these principles, not with our hands, but with our words, our attitudes, our intentions.
Yeah, think about it this way. You never physically harm someone, of course. But have you ever just completely killed someone's spirit with a careless comment? Crushed their enthusiasm? You'd never, ever steal from a store. But have you ever accidentally stolen someone's joy? See, these are the kinds of deeper, much more uncomfortable questions this idea forces us to ask.
Wow. This quote just hits so hard, doesn't it? If you've ever been a boss, or a parent, or even just a friend trying to give advice, this one really lands. The idea that you, with just a few words, could have killed someone's intention, their spirit. Man, that is a heavy, heavy thought.
Okay, I know this can all sound a little abstract, a little philosophical. So let's bring it down to earth with some real stories. These examples show exactly how this kind of thing happens in everyday life. And a lot of the time, it's when we don't even mean for it to.
All right, here's our first story. Picture this. A teenage daughter, she's so excited about her prom dress, she's showing it off. And her dad, being a dad, he's thinking about the budget. So he makes a comment about how much it cost. He's probably just trying to be practical, teach a lesson about money, but the impact of that comment, well, that was something else entirely. And boom, there it is. His wife just nails it with his devastatingly simple observation. In that one practical moment, he completely stole his daughter's joy. He didn't take her wallet, he didn't take the dress, he took something so much more valuable.
Okay, here's another one. We have a little boy who's just being a little boy. He's playing, making a ton of noise, having the time of his life. And his dad, who just wants a little peace and quiet after a long day, snaps at him. And right away he sees it. The light just goes out of his son's face. The joy is gone. And all that's left is this look of hurt and confusion.
And the stories keep coming from this same father, and honestly, they get even tougher to hear. Later, they're at an airport. His older son, who is on the autism spectrum, gets completely overwhelmed and terrified by the big, loud security machine. But the dad, he's stressed, he's in a hurry, and he just sees a kid acting out. He misreads the whole situation and treats his son's genuine fear as just bad behavior.
What a gut punch. That moment of realization for the dad. I didn't understand. He was only looking at the surface, at the behavior, and he completely missed the terror underneath. He thought he was disciplining his son, but he was actually punishing him for being scared. And that gap, right there, that gap,
between what we mean to do and what we actually do to someone. That's exactly where these sins of the heart happen.
So what do we do with all this? It's kind of heavy, right? How do we stop ourselves from being these unintentional joy thieves? Well, the answer isn't simple, but it is clear. It's an inside job. It means we have to get serious, like really serious, about looking inward.
There's actually a great word for this, interiority. It's basically a term for your inner life. You know, that private world of your real thoughts, your true feelings, your actual intentions. It's all the stuff that's really going on inside of you behind the mask you might show to everyone else.
And really, this is the main challenge, the big call to action. It's about moving beyond just checking boxes on the outside. Yep, didn't steal today, didn't kill anyone. It's about pushing ourselves to honestly, truly look at what's going on in our own hearts. To ask those tough questions like, why did I really say that? Or what was I actually trying to accomplish there?
Look, let's just be real for a second. This is not easy stuff. Looking at yourself that honestly, it's uncomfortable. It takes a lot of humility. It's definitely the hard path. But the good news is there's a process, a kind of roadmap for how to actually do it.
And here it is, a kind of 4-step process. Step 1, you got to look inside and be honest about your intentions. Step 2, you have to actually see and own the impact you had on the other person. Step 3, and oh man, this is usually the hardest one, you have to humble yourself, go to them, and ask for forgiveness. And finally, step 4, this isn't just about saying sorry. It's about committing to a real change, to creating a new heart and spirit moving forward.
Now, I know that 4-step process can sound like a lot, like a huge, monumental task, but there's this simple, really powerful motto that comes with it. It's a reminder that we can do hard things. This kind of inner work is tough, for sure, but it is not impossible. It's a choice we can make.
So let's wrap up with this final thought. After all of this hard work of looking inward, the focus actually shifts back outward. See, this isn't just about navel-gazing or self-improvement for its own sake. It's about understanding how our inner world impacts everyone around us. So the real question to leave you with, the one to take into your day, is this: whose joy can you protect today?